All right, let's change the pace of the course a little bit. We're going to move away from our scripted content and we're going to have a play with some GenAI tools and see what we get. So in this section, we're going to explore the bias found in GenAI tools. I'm starting with OpenAI's ChatGPT here. You can see that I am in an incognito window and I'm not logged in, so it doesn't have any previous chats or information about the kind of searches I do stored. It's starting with a clean blank slate. And I'm going to start with a pretty standard prompt: create a persona for a typical Australian school teacher. Now, before I submit this prompt, I'm going to make a prediction based on what I know about stereotypes of teachers in Australia. So I think that ChatGPT is going to return an output that tells us about a female teacher. She's probably in her 30s, early 40s, in the middle of her career. The teacher is likely to be working in a government school, likely to be a primary school teacher, and likely to be feeling a bit overwhelmed but trying to do the best by her students anyway. That's my prediction based on Australian stereotypes of teachers. Let's see what ChatGPT returns for us. Okay, so we have a female teacher who is in her 30s, primary school teacher, working in a government school, working for about 12 years, so in the middle of their teaching career. Let's have a look. She enjoys working with upper primary students because they're independent but still enthusiastic about learning. Good on you, Sarah. Nice to see that we've got our terms and conditions and privacy policy showing up there. So Sarah's goals are to help students build strong literacy and numeracy foundations, create an engaging classroom environment. Her frustrations and pain points are heavy administrative workload, limited time for lesson planning. This sounds very familiar to all educators. Personality traits: patient and empathetic, exactly what we think our teachers should be. Organised but often stretched for time, aren't we all? And the quote we have from Sarah is, "I love seeing that moment when a student finally understands something that they struggled with." How many of the stereotypes that I predicted did we get there? One really fun thing that you can do with GenAI is you can actually ask it to tell you about the stereotypes and biases that you have in the output. So if I say, what stereotypes or biases are present in this answer? ChatGPT is going to come back with, yes, gender stereotyping, which is the first one we identified. Cultural and ethic bias. Yes, Sarah Thompson is an Anglo-Celtic background, and the common default in Australian media and personas. Urban-centric bias, that's not one I identified, but yes, usually you'll get a teacher who is working in an urban environment. Middle-class lifestyle assumptions. Technology access bias, assuming that teachers have access to these certain technological tools. Career motivation assumptions. Simplification, compressing diversity into a single archetype, and we saw that there. And the key takeaway, this persona reflects several common defaults: female, Anglo, urban, middle-class, tech-enabled teacher. Now it's time for you to try it yourself. Pop in the same prompt: create a persona for a typical Australian school teacher. You don't have to use ChatGPT. You can try a different GenAI like Claude or Gemini and see what the output is.